Babu Owino has decided to make himself the kingpin of Luo Nyanza by hooks or crooks. Ameamua kama ni mbaya ni mbaya. And why am I saying this? We have seen in the recent, even after Raila has died and all this, we have seen how Babu has become so much aggressive in terms of trying to seek affirmation from the Luo community. You can see how he does it even in the funerals and anywhere he comes. He always wants to play the victim. He always wants to play that person mwenye, like, ni kama ODM and maybe all these Luo leaders currently hawamtaki. And these are just theatrics. I can say this categorically because I used to love Babu Owino. When Raila was, even if you go in most of my videos, hapo nyuma, you will realize that I used to praise Babu Owino sana, and I used to say that there is a way Raila anamnyanyasa at everything. But after studying the man clearly, I have realized that this is a man who is very, very desperate in being the leader of the Luo, the kingpin of the Luo. And you can see it even how there is a way he's trying to get even approval from the Odinga's family, and is using Winnie Odinga as his bait. He's using Winnie Odinga to get that confirmation. And before I go into a lot of details, I know most of you are watching me for the first time, but kindly take a second and hit the notification, the subscription and the notification bell, so that anytime I post a video, you will always be the first to watch. So kindly do so, na kama kawaida, I will be back. Thank you for everyone who has subscribed and those who have been following me. I really, really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Now, I am saying this and I know what I'm saying. I can see clearly that Babu Owino is so desperate to be the Luo leader. And that will be his greatest undoing. Because he's playing victim everywhere you see. Whenever there is a Luo gathering, Babu Owino will ensure that he sits in a position whereby people feel like he's being mistreated or he's not being recognized. And these things are theatrics. He's doing these things deliberately and intentionally. He's doing these things deliberately and intentionally. I want you, the people of the Luo, my fellow Luos, I want you to understand this very, very clearly. That whatever Babu Owino is doing, even this cheering, you see what happens at the burial of Beryl Odinga. This, like, when it comes and then there's a lot of noise people are making outside there, and then akitoka natoka na watu. All these things, these are theatrics. And Babu is doing them intentionally. Because he keeps on, Babu wants to send a statement to the people of Nyanza that he is the one who is, yeye ndiye atakuwa leader wao, whether they like it or not, especially those political leaders from Nyanza. But I want to tell Babu one thing. The approach that you are using will cost you dearly. I want Babu to understand one thing. That a leader in Luo Nyanza is never forced on people. For you to be a Luo leader, number one, you can never, there's nowhere Luos will ever sit and say that you are their leader. And for Luos to follow you, there's so many things you must do. Number one, you must be seen as someone who fights for justice and equality. Because Luos are just people. Luos are not people that they will sit back and see somebody is being mistreated na wanyamaze. Luos are naturally just people. There are a lot of things that Raila did or Raila stood for, that is why people loved Raila. Raila was that, for Raila to be loved beyond Nyanza, there was something special in Raila Odinga. This Raila style of leadership was not combative as the way you see this Babu Owino is doing. And then this politics of we will go to the street, we will go to the street. I want to tell Babu Owino something very clear. Even right now, if you call demonstration, no one will show up. No Luos will turn up for your demonstration. And there's a reason as to why. For people to reach a level whereby Raila could call for a demonstration and people would go, it took years. It took a lot of, you must have certain things that you have stood for people to believe that whenever they will follow you, things will work out. Babu Owino keeps on telling us how he was raised by Changando. It's not a bad thing. But the point where it has reached, people want to see concrete and tangible ideas. What will you do for the Luo nation? Where will you take the Luo people? Those are the things we want to hear. Luos are not people who are happy going to the streets. So saying that Luos will still go to the streets, they'll do this when things go, that is not Luo. Luos never went to the street because Raila just felt like, let's go to the street. No. Going to the street was always the last resort. When things have completely failed, that was when people used to go, Raila used to call for the streets. So Luos are not people who love going to the streets and getting killed and getting shot and getting tear gassed. It is not something that we enjoy it. So unless you come up with a very tangible reason as to why we need to follow you, whatever you are doing right now, I'm telling you, your political career will just be that. And you're not the first one to try and do such a thing, to force yourself on Luos. If you can remember Tom Mboya used and applied any tactic on the book to make sure that he replaces Jaramogi Oginga Odinga, but he failed. Another person was James Orengo. When James Orengo tried the same thing, tried to be the Luo leader and tried to match up to Raila and all these things, what happened to him? James Orengo ended up being the follower of Raila Odinga. So the approach that you are using, you are a good person. You are a good leader. You are. That is there. But don't force it on us. Just do what you're doing. Just continue doing the work we've been doing. Luos will follow you if they see that there is something here for us. But don't force it on them. Don't sit and keep on reminding them. You apply a lot of theatrics. Because all those things zinafanyika kwa matanga, those are theatrics and those are things that are planned. And how Babu sits and how he positions himself. He wants, and then he will make sure the camera imemweka kwa ile situation yenye watu wanaona ni kama ananyanyaswa. And then people follow blindly. And that's why I tell you that the kind of analysis that I do here is not just to please people and to make sure that, no, we try and point out the things that we feel like our leaders are failing at and can be moved. Babu is a very good leader. And I said it even a while back. I said Babu should not go for the governorship of Nairobi. Because that will be disastrous for him. I said Babu kama anataka akue future president of this country, he should concentrate his arsenals in being the president 2027. So that even if he will fail to replace Ruto in 2027, but he will build a good, Babu can be a good opposition. And he can build his name so well that even in 2032, he can now become the president. But akiamua kuwa the governor of Nairobi, that will be the end of his political career. That is the reality. But all this theatrics that he's applying is just pushing Luos away from him. Of course, he will go to these events, he will get people crowd at a party. No doubt. But what does Babu stand for? Where does Babu want to take the Luos? Those are the things he needs to start selling to us. Those are the things he needs to start selling to us. And I know he can never get the wisdom of Raila Odinga, because Raila Odinga became a Luo Kingpin without announcing that he's the Luo Kingpin. Raila Odinga became the leaders of the Luo without imposing himself on the Luos. Luos just followed him. Paka ulikuwa unazaliwa hivi unajua tu mimi ni Mjaluo, mimi lazima nifuate Raila. Hivyo automatic. But Babu Owino is trying to self-impose himself on the Luos. He's trying to play the victim in every situation so that Luos can sympathize with him. Now wamfuate. He keeps on telling Luos that he's a son of a nobody, so that wamhurumie wamfuate. That style of politics doesn't work with Luos, because Luos are very proud people. They will, deep down in their heart, they will say, okay, you are a son of a nobody. Ata mimi, I'm a son of a nobody. Why should I follow you? And that's why it is very, very important that Babu start doing his politics by not playing victim, but by start telling, by aanze kuonekana trying to give solutions. That now this is where Raila alitufikisha. Mimi naona sisi as Luos, this is where we need to go. And you lead in that plan. You take the front seat and you lead, and automatically people will follow you. Not these theatrics, oh siju kwa matanga, siju nini na nini. Not those at whom you have been denied a chance to speak. Now you want to drive out, you want to carry the crowd, and then you go on top of the vehicle, you say a lot of things. Oh siju my family, siju nini, siju I was denied, siju I went to nini, because no one in this country has suffered in detention more than Raila Odinga. No one. So, as much as you have been through all those processes, don't use it to try and hoodwink the Luos that hata wewe you have suffered. You get? Try and tell them something. Because wewe ulienda detention, but kuna mtu alipoteza mtoto wake. So which one is more painful? So that is what you need to look at. And that is my plea, because he's a very good leader. Babu can be a very good president. And I said it a while back that only Babu can face William Ruto head on. Only Babu. But only if he gets the support of the Luos. And then he goes ahead and gets the support of other communities. Because Raila, despite the fact that he was a de facto leader of the Luo community, Raila was able to penetrate other communities and get a fanatical support. He was able to get support from the Masai, support from the Luyas and nini. Can Babu also do the same? He can't. And you don't become a Luo leader by fighting the Luos, the Luo leaders within Nini. No. You can fight them. Raila used to fight those people who used to bring up their wanainua kichwa yao, not directly, but through his proxies. But outside here, Raila was busy integrating, facing other communities and approaching other communities and reaching out to them and everything. And whenever now people will see that, hey, Raila anapendwa pia na wakale, Raila pia anapendwa na Waluya, Raila anapendwa na nini, then the Luos that still had not fully accepted Raila would now come back and say, hey, kama mtu wetu anapendwa huko nini, why, mbona mimi, what reason do I have not to support Raila Odinga? And they will come back home and start supporting Raila. You have to be very, very smart at it. Raila was very, very smart in how he used to do his things. And that is what made him to be like somebody anytime. Because once you want to position yourself as the Luo leader alone, you lose all the other communities. And losing other communities is very easy. It's very, very easy. So, Babu Owino, you are a good leader. But the approach that you are using right now, it will cost you. Even the using of... Because I believe you are just using Winnie Odinga so that you can try and get that acceptance from the Odinga's family. And that's why she's backing you up. First, she doesn't understand politics so well. She doesn't have that experience. Secondly, she can't fit in the shoes of her father. That one can't happen. So, Babu Owino is a very, very good leader. But the approach that he's using, that is where the problem will be. Because he will end up dividing Luos more than he thinks that he can unite them. Luos don't get united simply because somebody is a Luo. That one doesn't work with the Luos. Luos will not support you simply because you're a Luo. No. Because Luos are not tribal. That's one thing you must understand with Luos. Luos are just people. They will give you something if they know that you deserve it. If you don't deserve it, they will not give you. Hata kama wewe ni wao kiasi gani. They will not. Luos will not vote for you because you are a Luo. Mimi siwezi enda kwa ballot paper nivotie Babu because he's a Luo. No, I will vote for him because I feel like he's a just leader, and that is what used to happen with Raila. People used to love Raila and vote for Raila not because he's a Luo, but because they know, they believe in his ideology. They believe in the things he has stood for over the years. So they say no matter what, this is the right person for us. I will vote for him hata kama ataanguke na kura yangu. That is what you need to build in people. You need to build hope in people. People must look at you and know that there is hope. People must look at you and know that all their problems can be solved by you. That is how you need to position yourself. But playing the victimhood, that mimi na nyanyaswa, that one will cost you even your political career, even the support that you're getting. Raila never played the victim. Raila will always come out, if hata kama election anasema tu election yangu imeibiwa, and then he start going to the seat and everything, and people who have always believed in him over the years would agree with him and go with him to the streets. And that is how the government used to be threatened, and then they come back and they do a handshake. And once you do a handshake, the same people will still have hope in him and say, no, mzee anajua nini anafanya, wacha tusikize mzee, and they will come back and support him again. So there's something you need to build in people. Playing victim will not help you. Playing victim will not make you feel like, no, you are a good leader and you're loved. But don't spoil it by playing this style of politics, because we can see through it. Many people cannot see through it, but we can see through it. And the Luo community that I understand very well, this kind of sympathy, seeking sympathy, will never win in Luo Nyanza. Will never win in Luo Nyanza. Will never. That one will bring a lot of division. So, anyway guys, it is what it is. Tell me what you think about what recently is happening with Babu Owino and is wanting to be the kingpin of the Luos in the comment section. But above it all, as I always say, remain respectful. Do not insult any leader. Do not insult anybody. It's good. You can have a divergent opinion, but don't insult people. Don't try to insult leader. That is very, very wrong. Let us do clean politics. Let us create a safe space whereby everybody can come and interact. Thank you. Until next time. Bye-bye. The African Update.